I'm Tyler Austin from Gungear Strategic. Thank you so much for watching. This video is going to be a short excerpt from a longer conversation I had with Rob over at Dice Show Tactical. In that conversation, we talked about all sorts of things, ranging from just general training stuff to CQB to rifles and all sorts of other little topics. And this video is a short conversation from that longer conversation. If you enjoy my content, definitely be sure to check out Rob over at Dice Show Tactical. He's also the same guy who ran the Gunfather Milsim channel, if you're familiar with that. He's a great guy, longtime SWAT guy, so he has a lot of knowledge and information to share. So if you enjoy my content, I'm sure you would enjoy his content as well, so definitely be sure to check out his channel, Dice Show Tactical. With that being said, I hope you enjoy this video. So some of the other things you want to talk about real quick, we'll get into some more juicy stuff that people are probably going to want to hear us talk about. Ideal barrel length for CQB versus general purpose. So what's your thoughts on that?
I think barrel length, people kind of go a little bit too short more often than not. If for example, if the difference between a 10.5 barrel and a 12.5 is going to totally ruin your life, you probably need to work on your CQB more.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I ask people genuinely, how often does that barrel length really real world affect you in CQB? Okay. You know, maybe pieing that weak side corner on a threshold, but other than that, or support side corner on a threshold. But other than that, if you're doing what you're doing correctly, it shouldn't really bug you too much. Now, does that mean I'm going to go in there with an 18-inch barrel? No. But does that mean the difference between a 10.5 and a 12.5 shouldn't really affect you that much, suppressor or not, shouldn't really affect you that much.
Yeah. Are you guys running suppressed by any chance?
In the process.
Yeah.
So
good.
I run, we recently switched from the 10.5 to 11.5 Galen fin. I prefer the 11.5. I like the muzzle velocity it gives me. I don't, at CQB distances, it's kind of irrelevant, but these are weapons that we use in other contexts. I like that extra inch. That's just me, but that's because I'm a sniper and I'm a precision guy and a ballistic guy, and I know what that inch gives me.
Yeah.
Is it a lot? No, but I want it.
Well, yeah.
You know.
But it's actually pretty impressive how much velocity, particularly with 5.56, you get with that extra inch going from 10.5 to 11.5.
That's correct. As opposed to
you get almost like about 125 feet per second.
Yeah.
Out of that.
The 18 to 20 or something like that, where it's negligible. It's not really worth it. At that particular length, it is critical. I bought a 12.5 inch. That's what I teach with. If you've watched any of my channel, I'm using the 12.5 inch Aero Precision bill. It's just a tool for work. But I'm really impressed with 12.5, and I didn't think it was gonna be that big a deal. And I like the way it shoots. For a do-it-all rifle, 14.5 or 16. Don't get too wrapped around the axle on which one you get, which one's on sale.
Yeah.
I personally use a 14.5 because the guy had a LaRue Stealth barrel. My gun guy had a LaRue Stealth barrel that was not used in a project that was supposed to be, and it gave me a good deal on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's quickly define, because general purpose would mean a million different things. So,
yeah.
So what to you? Like, what is the parameters for a general purpose rifle?
I'd say realistically out to 300 yards, which is in the grand scheme of things not that far. But that cartridge, people don't like to admit it, but 5.56, 223, it runs out of a lot of ass.
Yeah.
Out 400, 500. I mean, yeah, can you shoot things at 500? Yeah. Nobody's lining up to get shot with them, but I don't think anybody would say that was the range at which you would ideally engage a target.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like out to 300 is what I would call general purpose.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I mean, for me personally, like a general purpose rifle is something that, particularly like for 5.56, it's very dependent on barrel length. It has enough barrel length where it has a good trajectory out to 300 and still good ballistic, terminal ballistic performance. But at the same time, it's still, because it's a general purpose rifle, still at the same time is short enough to where if you need to use it in like a CQB context, home defense, whatever, it's short enough where it isn't, especially if it's suppressed, where it's short enough to where it's not very prohibitive.
And I think 14.5 or 16 is kind of the sweet spot in there for 5.56. Yeah. That's where I would stick with. The barrel debate is people like getting into the weeds on. I think it's like an Xbox versus PlayStation or fuel injected versus natural aspirated. It's kind of like that never ending debate. But yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been super happy. Like this is kind of like my main guy. This 11.5-inch BCM. I love this thing.
Yeah,
This has been like it's been my go-to since I've gotten it. And yeah, I love it.
I've really been impressed with the 11.5 over the 10.5.
Yeah,
I didn't think I would be that pleased with it. And it's okay. It's flatter. It's nicer.
Yeah, I mean it shoots nicer. You get a lot less. The gas system just runs better in an 11.5. You get a lot less gas, a lot less blast, especially if you're suppressed. It's only an inch. It's barely noticeable. And you get more rail length too, especially if you need to put a pack on there or something like that.
It's important. It's an important inch.
It's
so,
every inch matters. It matters. That 11 going to that 11.5 is very. It's worth the inch.
I think so.